What's up guys, Groovy Guitar Dude here with the beginner guitar tutorial for I Guess I'm in Love by Kane. If this video helps you out, hit that like and subscribe button, and the guitar we're jamming on today is called a Faith Blood Moon Neptune. Guys, the first thing that you want to know to play I Guess I'm in Love on guitar is that we're going to be in standard tuning and we will not need a capo to play this song. The next thing that you want to know to play I Guess I'm in Love on guitar is the structure of this song. We'll start with the verse, then go to pre-chorus, then chorus, then verse, pre-chorus, chorus again. Then we're gonna have a short bridge and we'll finish up the song with one last chorus. And the last thing that you wanna know before we dive into I Guess I'm in Love is the 5 chords that you need to play this song. The first one is C. The next one is A minor. The next one is G. The next one is G sus4. And the last one is F. And I'll have a beginner way to play that F chord, as well as chord tutorials for all of the other chords linked in the pinned comment below for those of you who need them. And with all that in mind, guys, let's dive into I Guess I'm in Love. Guys, I Guess I'm in Love is a beautiful, beautiful piano song that I just heard for the first time a couple days ago, and I thought it'd be a really fun one to share with y'all. Now, like I said, this song is pretty much all based on piano. There's really not any guitar in it, so this is one of those songs that we're gonna adapt what's being played on piano, and we're gonna translate it over to guitar. This is super, super beginner friendly. There are a few weird chords in here, but nothing too crazy. So with that in mind, the first thing that we're gonna take a look at for I Guess I'm in Love is what we're playing for our verses. For our verses, we're gonna have a chord progression and 2 pretty simple strum patterns. We're gonna start with our chord progression, which is gonna be C, A minor, F, and then we're gonna have that G sus4, and then G. You notice that those last 2 chords have a star next to them, and that's because we're going to be doing something a little different for the strum pattern on those 2 chords as we're going to be doing for the rest of the non-starred chords. So with that in mind, let's take a look at our 2 strum patterns. Our first strum pattern is going to be 8 down strums for each chord. So that's going to be for all of the non-starred chords. So let's walk through those first non-starred chords. We'll start with our C chord. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then that is going to bring us to our first star chord, which is that G sus4. This one's a little bit of a weird chord. I didn't mention this in the chord walkthrough, but a good way to kind of remember where to go with this chord is almost play a C chord, but instead move these 2 fingers up 1 string each, and then add your pinky to the 3rd fret of the high E. That's kind of how I'm getting there quick, is just kind of thinking of it as a little bit of an alternate C chord, even though it's actually a G variation. So that's going to be our first starred chord. What we're going to do is for the starred chords, we're going to play 4 down strums. So we're basically just playing these for half a measure or half as long as all of the other chords. So this one's going to get 4 down strums. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to regular G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. There's actually a few ways that you can make that transition. I kind of transitioned into a full regular G chord, but what you can actually do is rather than playing it like I did and moving all of those fingers like I did, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can actually just lift up your pointer finger 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. This is kind of a weird finger shape for a regular G chord, but if you want to do that, that'll actually be a little bit of a quicker transition, and that's probably what I'm going to do through the playthrough. So nothing too crazy here, guys. Pretty simple chord progression with 2 really simple strum patterns to go along with it, and this is going to be kind of the feel of the rest of the song as well. We're just going to change up our chord progressions depending on where we're at in the song, and we change up our strum pattern a few times as well. So with that in mind, a couple times through what we're playing for the verses on I Guess I'm in Love will look about like this without me talking. From there, guys, we're into what's being played for our pre-choruses. For our pre-choruses, we're going to have two pretty simple chord progressions with a very simple strum pattern to go along with them. First, let's take a look at our chord progressions. Our pre-chorus chord progressions are going to be A minor, F, C, and G. Then we're going to go to A minor, F, and G. And that whole thing is just going to play once through for each pre-chorus. What we're going to be doing for strum pattern for each chord is just 2 down strums for each chord, about in the same cadence that we played the verse strum patterns, but obviously quite a bit shorter because we're only doing 2 down strums. So a little walkthrough of what that's going to look like for each chord is about like this. We'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that will lead us into the choruses whenever we're going to that part. So guys, like I said, that only plays through once for each pre-chorus. So I'm gonna only play through it once as well. So once all the way through that pre-chorus chord progression with that strum pattern will look about like this without me talking. From there, we're into what's being played for the choruses, which is probably the easiest part of the song and the most straightforward. For the choruses, we're just going to have a simple chord progression and a simple strum pattern to go along with it. Our chord progression for our choruses is going to be C, C again, A minor, and F. And that chord progression is just going to repeat through the choruses. For each chord, our strum pattern is going to be 4 down strums for each one of those chords. So it'll look about like this. We'll start with our C chord. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just about like that, repeated through all of the choruses on this song. Nothing too crazy here, guys. Pretty simple chord progression with a pretty simple strum pattern to go along with it. So the chord progression and strum pattern is going to repeat through all of the choruses on I Guess I'm in Love will look about like this without me talking. And finally, guys, that's going to bring us to the bridge, which same thing here, guys. It's a little bit different, a little bit funky, but nothing too crazy or complicated. We're going to have 2 different chord progressions, and we're going to have 1 strum pattern to go along with them. Let's take a look at the chord progressions first. We'll start with a C, then we go to A minor, then F, F again, then we're onto that second line. We've got A minor and G. And that last G will take us out of the bridge and into that last chorus of the song. So what we're going to be doing for strum pattern on this is a little bit funky, but nothing too crazy. We'll start with the C chord as our example here. We're going to do 3 down strums, and it's going to be spaced out kind of like this. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, kind of like that, and then we'll switch chords. So going through our chord progression will look about like this. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Second line, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that last G chord, like I said, will take us into the last chorus of the song. So nothing too crazy there, guys. A little bit funky on the timing of that, so be sure to listen to that and especially play along with the song to make sure you get the timing down for that part, because it's just a little bit funky, a little bit kind of hard to remember the pace of it if you're not actually listening and playing along with the song. But other than that, nothing too crazy. So like I said, guys, that only plays through once for the bridge, so I'm only going to play through it once as well. So once all the way through the bridge chord progression and strum pattern will look about like this without me talking. And guys, that is everything you need to know to play I Guess I'm in Love. As always, if you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments down below. I'm usually pretty quick getting back to those. And again, if this video helps you out, hit that subscribe button. I have about 875 other guitar and ukulele lessons on this channel. I usually try to post at least 3 to 5 new lessons every single week. So if you're learning guitar or ukulele, there could not be a more perfect channel for you to check out. If you guys want to see what I'm jamming on in between lessons, you can hit up my Instagram at @thegroovyguitardude. And lastly, guys, if you need any extra help with this song or any other aspect of beginner guitar, you can hit up this link right up here to book a one-on-one lesson with me. Guys, I Guess I'm in Love is a beautiful, beautiful song. It is piano based, and as you probably know if you've been on this channel for a while, I love taking beautiful piano songs like this one and kind of translating them over to guitar. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's one of my favorite ways to play guitar, and this song is a great example of how that works really well. It's also a very beginner-friendly song to play because really we just have a handful of chord progressions and some simple strum patterns to go along with them. So I know there's that one weird chord, the G sus4, I think it was called. And that's a funky chord. It's probably new to most of you guys that are learning this song, but it's really not too crazy complicated. All the chords we're using in this song are pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy complicated. And it's a good one for beginners to get started with because the strum patterns are all pretty straightforward and simple, so you can really focus on your chords and your transitions right up here if you're a beginner. So guys, I had a lot of fun learning this song. I hope you guys have a lot of fun learning as well, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon.